Welcome to our podcast channel. Today, we will be discussing the topic 4 things you should never speak with others.
Right. This is a really interesting area. It's more than just politeness, isn't it? We're really digging into how powerful words are.
Definitely, how they can build things up or completely tear them down.
Exactly. It's about understanding that profound influence. We're looking at 4 specific ways speech can actually work against us, against our relationships. Things discussed for ages, really.
Okay, let's unpack this. So our mission today is to explore these core ideas of, let's call it, mindful communication. And what strikes me is that it's not just a list of don'ts. It really gets into the why the way we speak matters so much.
Yeah, the intention behind the words is crucial. It's about shaping a better life, really, through how we communicate.
So where do we start? Is there a core idea?
Well, a classic analogy, and it's a powerful one, compares words to a knife.
Okay.
A knife can be incredibly useful, right? Building, preparing food, creating art. Essential, even.
Sure.
But that same knife, if you're not careful, if you're angry or just not paying attention, can cause serious harm. Instantly.
So words have that same potential, usefulness and harm, depending on intent and awareness.
Precisely. It really sets the stakes for why this matters.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's dive into the first one. Lying. Dishonesty. Seems obvious, maybe?
It does seem obvious, but its impact is perhaps deeper than we often think. It's often seen as the most corrosive.
Right. But what about, those little white lies? Sometimes telling the absolute truth feels like it would cause more harm, more conflict. Isn't there a place for social niceties?
That's the classic question, isn't it? And it's a fair one. A white lie might feel like it smooths things over in the moment.
Yeah, avoids hurting someone's feelings, maybe.
Right. But the primary damage, according to this perspective, isn't really external. It's internal. It's the erosion of trust.
Okay, explain that. Erosion of trust with others or with yourself.
Both, actually. Primarily, it damages the very foundation needed for any healthy relationship, which is trust. But it also damages your own character, your own sense of integrity.
How does it damage you?
Well, think about it. When you lie, even a small lie, you have to maintain 2 versions of reality in your head.
Ah, right. The truth and the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that takes mental energy. Studies actually show this lying creates cognitive load. It's stressful. It makes you less clear-headed overall because part of your brain is busy managing the deception.
So it's like running extra software in the background all the time, draining resources.
That's a great way to put it. You're diverting energy. So it's not just a moral issue. It's almost a cognitive efficiency issue, too.
Yeah.
You're undermining your own internal peace.
Interesting. So the takeaway isn't just be good. It's that honesty helps you function better, stay clearer, internally consistent.
Absolutely. Transparency, honesty, it creates a solid foundation for you and for how others perceive you.
Okay, that covers the damage we do to ourselves and trust. What about words that damage connections between other people? That brings us to the second point, right? Divisive speech.
Yes, divisive speech, things like slander, malicious gossip.
What does that look like day to day? It sounds quite formal, slander.
Yeah, maybe slander sounds formal, but the act is common. It's basically using words to create conflict, drama, suspicion between people.
So, talking negatively about someone behind their back, spreading rumors.
Exactly that. Or subtly poisoning one person's view of another. Again, the intention is key here. The aim is to divide, to create negativity between others.
But what about situations where, okay, maybe someone is genuinely causing problems? Isn't warning others sometimes necessary? Where's the line between harmful gossip and, legitimate warning?
That's a crucial distinction, and the line often lies in the motivation. Is your intent to protect someone, to share necessary information constructively? Or is it driven by negative feelings?
It was what kind of feelings?
Often, things like jealousy, anger, resentment towards the person you're talking about. You're trying to pull them down, damage their reputation out of spite. That's divisive. A warning comes from a place of concern, usually.
So you have to check your own motive. Am I trying to help the situation, promote understanding, or am I just venting my own negativity and trying to cause trouble?
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting. The damage isn't just to the people you're talking about.
Okay.
It comes back to you. People notice. If you're constantly talking negatively about others behind their backs...
I figure you'll probably do the same to them eventually.
Exactly. It destroys your trustworthiness. You become known as someone who stirs up trouble, someone unreliable, maybe even malicious. You end up isolating yourself.
You poison your own reputation while trying to poison others. Okay. That leads us pretty naturally to the third type, harsh speech. This one feels more direct, more immediately hurtful.
It often is,
Yeah.
yes. We think of shouting, insults, obvious verbal abuse.
But I suspect it's broader than that.
Much broader. Harsh speech is any language used to belittle, ridicule, criticize unfairly. Basically to put someone down.
So, like, really cutting sarcasm, constant nitpicking, name-calling, obviously.
All of that, yes. Using words as weapons, essentially. Often driven by anger or frustration, aimed at making the other person feel small or bad.
And the impact on the person receiving it, it can be really deep, can it? Not just a momentary sting.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Especially if it's consistent or comes from someone important to you, a partner, parent, boss. It chips away at self-worth, can lead to anxiety, sadness, even depression.
Wow.
The emotional wounds from words can often last much, much longer than physical ones. It triggers a real stress response.
So the core principle here is about speaking with kindness, with respect, even when disagreeing or giving feedback.
Exactly. Focus on the issue, not the person. Avoid language that attacks their character or worth. It's fundamental for healthy interaction. And frankly, for the speaker's own peace, too. Venting anger like that isn't truly relieving in the long run.
Right, it probably just fuels more anger. Okay, that makes sense. Now, the last one. Idle chatter. This one feels different. Maybe surprising. Because, we need to chat. Small talk is part of life, right? Humor?
Yes, absolutely. And this principle doesn't mean you can't joke around or have light conversations or engage in necessary small talk. That's not the point.
Okay, so what is idle chatter in this context? Where's the line?
It's about speech that is truly meaningless or unproductive, particularly when it becomes excessive, when it becomes a habit that drains your focus and intention.
Can you give an example? What's unproductive speech we might do without realizing?
Sure. Think about, say, endlessly speculating about celebrities' private lives, people you'll never meet, situations that have zero impact on you.
Okay, yeah.
Or getting into repetitive, pointless arguments about things you can't change, hypotheticals that go nowhere. Or, a really common one, chronic complaining.
Complaining about, like, the weather, traffic, politics you can't influence.
Exactly. Things completely outside your control. Spending significant time and energy talking about them, rather than focusing on what you can influence, it becomes a mental drain.
So what does this all mean? Why is avoiding that hour-long rant about yesterday's traffic jam actually important? It feels harmless.
The core idea here is about managing your resources, your mental energy, your focus, your intention.
Okay.
Your speech is an output of your mind. If you're constantly directing that output towards things that are genuinely useless or uncontrollable, you're essentially leaking energy.
Ah, like wasting bandwidth on noise instead of signal.
Perfectly put. Avoiding idle chatter, in this sense, is an exercise in mindfulness. It's about setting boundaries for your communication. Asking yourself, is this conversation serving a purpose? Is it constructive? Or is it just filling time? Or worse, draining my focus from what matters?
And maybe, does it also devalue your words? If you're always talking about trivial things, maybe when you need to say something important, it carries less weight.
That's a really insightful point. Yes, I think it can. It preserves the significance of your communication. The aim is to use words more purposefully, to connect, to share something valuable, to express clear intention, to generate positive feelings.
So bringing it all together. We've got avoiding lies to protect trust in your own integrity, avoiding divisive speech to protect relationships and your reputation,
Right.
avoiding harsh speech to prevent harm and maintain respect,
Yes.
and avoiding idle chatter to conserve mental energy and keep your communication meaningful.
That sums it up really well. When you consciously try to avoid these four pitfalls, you naturally start communicating with more wisdom, more intention. You regain focus.
It connects to a bigger picture, doesn't it?
Definitely. These aren't just abstract rules. They're practical tools. They show the profound impact of speech and offer a tangible way to cultivate, trust, harmony, positivity in your life just by being mindful of how you talk.
So for you listening, this isn't just theory. It's really a practical guide, a way to use mindful communication to make your own life better, calmer, clearer, and also improve the environment for everyone around you.
Absolutely. It's very grounded, very actionable. Maybe something for you to think about. Just observe yourself for the next day or two. Which of these four areas, lying, dividing, harshness, or just a pointless talk, which one tends to crop up most often in your own speech or even just in your thoughts?
Where's your energy leak, essentially?
Exactly. Just noticing that, identifying where you tend to slip. That's the most powerful first step to making a change. A little self-awareness check.
That's all for today's topic. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest news.